Switzerland's natural beauty is as addictive as its mouth-watering chocolates. One taste, and you'll be left craving more. Whether you are on the hiking trails outside Zermatt, laying eyes on the iconic Matterhorn for the first time, or marveling at the Eiger, Monch, and Jungfrau Mountains, schussing down a ski trail beginning atop the Jungfraujoch, Switzerland seduces quickly. This landlocked Central European country is home to two mountain ranges, the Alps in the south and the Jura in the northwest. But Switzerland's natural attractions don't stop with peaks and glaciers. You'll also find glimmering turquoise lakes, emerald valleys where tingling bell-wearing cows and sheep graze, charming chalets, and flower box-filled villages that look ripped from the pages of a fairy tale storybook. Amid all this natural beauty are also some fantastic urban diversions and places to visit. With 4 official languages, French, German, Italian, and Romansh, Switzerland has a multicultural sophistication to its cities, which all offers something different when it comes to history and culture. Explore in more depth by checking out our list of top attractions and places to visit in Switzerland. Number 1, the Matterhorn. Number 2, Zermatt. Number 3, Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe. Number 4, Interlaken. Number 5, Lucerne. Number 6, Lake Geneva. Number 7, Chateau de Chillon, Montreux. Number 8, St. Moritz. Number 9, Bern. Number 10, Lake Lugano and Ticino. Number 11, Zurich. Number 12, the Rhine Falls. Number 13, Swiss National Park. Number 14, the Albula-Bernina railway line. Number 15, Oberhofen Castle. Number 16, Swiss Grand Canyon. Number 17, Gruyères. Let's start exploring Switzerland. Number 1, the Matterhorn. You'll never forget the first time you see Switzerland's most symbolic mountain, the Matterhorn. Maybe you arrive in the charming village of Zermatt at its base on a clear blue day, and the 478-meter high tooth-shaped mountain looms clearly in front of you. Or maybe it is spitting rain when you first set foot in the car-free town, and it isn't until the next morning that you witness the emblematic peak emerging from a sea of dissipating clouds. Whichever way you first see this legendary mountain, it will remain seared into your memory for years to come. It's that impressive. One of the highest mountains in the Alps, the Matterhorn sits on the border with Italy. It has 4 steep faces rising to its craggy tip. Climbers have been intrigued by this mountain from the first successful summit in 1865 by British climber Edward Whymper and his team. The trip still ended tragically when 4 of the climbers fell to their deaths during the descent. Things to do at the Matterhorn. If you don't have the skills to summit the Matterhorn, there are still plenty of ways to experience the mountain. One top excursion is to ride the Gornergrat-Bahn-Cog Railway to the summit of the 620-meter Gornergrat Mountain for stunning Matterhorn views, Europe's highest open-air cog railway and the first fully electric train of its kind, departs from Zermatt station multiple times per day. The ride itself is also bound to leave you speechless. Taking 33 minutes and climbing 1,469 meters, it crosses dramatic bridges, passes turquoise-hued mountain lakes, and at times clings to the side of the mountain with views down into rocky ravines. Once you reach the mountaintop, you'll find an observation deck with views in all directions, including a view of Switzerland's highest mountain and the second biggest glacier in the Alps. Keep an eye out for wild ibex near the viewing platform in summer. Europe's highest altitude hotel, the Kulm Hotel Gornergrat, is also here. Besides lodging, it has a restaurant and shops open to the public. There is excellent hiking in summer, while Switzerland's highest sledding hill provides winter fun. Number 2, Zermatt. At the foot of the Matterhorn lies the charming village of Zermatt, a top international resort that is one of the most popular ski destinations in Switzerland, and a hiking, biking, and climbing paradise in summer. Zermatt can also only be reached via helicopter, very pricey, or the Matterhorn-Gotthard Railway via the towns of Visp or Brig. If you drive to the region, you'll need to park your car down the valley in the town of Tasch and then continue by train. As such, staying in Zermatt truly feels like you hiked into a remote mountain paradise. Number 3, Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe. Since 1912, tourists have been making their way to the fairy tale-like village of Grindelwald for an excursion to the top of Europe, also known as Jungfraujoch. As its name suggests, it's the highest train station in Europe. Number 4. Interlaken. Interlaken's proximity to Lake Thun to the west and Lake Brienz to the east, along with soaring alpine mountains, has helped it become the adventure capital of Europe, and it offers thrills for any taste. Number 5. Lucerne. Imagine a sparkling blue lake surrounded by mountains, a car-free medieval old town, covered bridges, waterfront promenades, frescoed historic buildings, and sun-splashed plazas with bubbling fountains. No wonder Lucerne, in German Luzern, is a top spot for tourists. For beautiful views of Lucerne, the Alps and the lake, ride the funicular to the Dietscheberg on the north side of Lake Lucerne, cruise up Mount Pilatus on the cableway, or head to the Rigi, a famous lookout point. Number 6. Lake Geneva. Lake Geneva, Europe's largest alpine lake, straddles the Swiss-French border and laps at the shores of some of Switzerland's most popular cities. The city of Geneva, in French Genève, in German Genève, sits between pretty snow-capped peaks at the point where the Rhône spills into Lake Geneva. This French-speaking capital of peace is the European seat of the United Nations and exudes a pleasing blend of French joie de vivre and Swiss structure. Promenades, parks, and gardens surround the lake, and the old town is a lovely spot to stroll among the historic buildings. The Jet d'eau, a fountain in Lake Geneva shooting water 150 meters into the air, is a famous landmark. Cultural attractions include the Opera House and the Grand Theatre, which stages international acts. Number 7. Château de Chillon, Montreux. On the shores of Lake Geneva near Montreux, the Château de Chillon, Chillon Castle, has inspired artists and writers for centuries. Lord Byron, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Victor Hugo are among the luminaries who have written about this architectural treasure. Highlights include the Great Halls, with magnificent views of Lake Geneva, the Gothic underground rooms, the chapel adorned with 14th century paintings, and the Camera Domini, a bedroom occupied by the Duke of Savoy decorated with medieval murals. Number 8. St. Moritz. St. Moritz is a city of firsts. The world's first electric light clicked on here in December 1878, even as snow-capped peaks beckon in the distance. Visitors can explore the area by touring the lake on one of the white steamers or renting a boat. For a panoramic overview, Monte San Salvatore offers one of the most spectacular vistas of the surrounding countryside, lake, and snow-capped peaks. Number 11. Zurich. Zurich is Switzerland's largest city, a major transportation hub, and a top starting point for travelers. The city lies at the northwestern end of Lake Zurich, astride the river Limmat. Beyond its buttoned-up facade, this affluent banking capital boasts a rich lineup of cultural treasures. A great place to begin a walking tour is the cobbled streets of the old town with its quaint shops, cafes, and galleries. Mile-long Bahnhofstrasse, one of Europe's finest shopping strands, beckons with designer stores selling fashion, watches, and jewelry. Number 12. The Rhine Falls. Spanning 150 meters, the Rhine Falls, Rheinfall, at Schaffhausen are the largest falls in Europe. The best time to visit is during June and July when the mountain snow melts and the falls swell in volume to spill over a 21-meter-high ledge of Jurassic limestone. Boat trips up the Rhine provide excellent views of the falls, as do the viewing platforms on both sides of the river. Number 13. Swiss National Park. Founded in 1914, Swiss National Park in the Engadine Valley is the oldest reserve in the Alps. The park sits right on the border with Italy and encompasses more than 170 square kilometers of flower-dotted hollows, fast-flowing rivers, and limestone crags. The scenery is especially dramatic in winter when the forested mountains are covered in a blanket of snow, and the views from the cross-country ski trails are stunning. Number 14. The Albula-Bernina Railway Line. One of the very few railway lines in the world designated as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage listing, the Albula-Bernina line on the Rhaetian Railways offers a majestic ride not to be missed. The route extends throughout the Albula and Bernina landscapes, covering 122 kilometers and winding through almost 200 bridges, the Graubünden Mountains, and a number of tunnels and viaducts along the way. A ride on this train means panoramic seats that overlook unspoiled mountain landscapes, including the Piz Bernina, the highest mountain in the Eastern Alps at just over 4,000 meters tall. The train operates all year long and the views are just as magical in summer as they are in winter. Number 15. Oberhofen Castle. Right on the shore of Lake Thun and surrounded by a 2.5-hectare park, this 13th century castle is one of the most breathtaking in Switzerland. Because Oberhofen Castle changed hands many times through the centuries and new owners kept adding rooms to it, the result is a magical mix of many styles: Bernese Baroque-style buildings, Romantic-style facades, and Prussian-inspired exotic new areas, including a library and a smoking room. The castle also houses a living museum showcasing the times and lives of feudal societies that called the castle and its surroundings home from the 16th to the 19th centuries. Number 16. Swiss Grand Canyon. The Ruinolta, also known as the Swiss Grand Canyon, is a deep gorge surrounded by expansive meadows and forested cliffs. Located in eastern Switzerland, it was created over 10,000 years ago when the Ice Age Rhine Glacier retreated. It led to a chain of events that resulted in a massive rock slide in the Rhine Valley. As the Rhine River seeped through the rock walls, the gorge was filled with water. Number 17. Gruyères. Gruyères might be tiny. It covers an area of just 28.4 square kilometers and is home to around 2,000 permanent residents, but it makes up for it with plenty of things to do, including the 13th century castle of Gruyères and its two small arts and regional museums, as well as Saint-Germain Castle, which was bought by Swiss surrealist painter and sculptor H.R. Guiget, and it now houses a museum dedicated to his work. The Tibet Museum, housed in an old church in town, is also worth a visit. Thanks for watching. Keep exploring Ninja Yatri videos.